Hello and welcome to HCC MovieMakers Academy Movie Reviews. I'm Darrell Thorman.
And I'm Soroosh, Mehdi.
And we just saw Woman in Gold.
The film stars Ryan Reynolds and Helen Mirren. We are actually also taking a look at a new introduction with a supporting acting role by Daniel Brühl, or Brühl, however you want to. We have a bit of a cameo, actually, an appearance with Katie Holmes, playing Ryan Reynolds' wife, actually.
Woman in Gold is about a woman who escaped Austria, during World War II after the Nazis started invading Jewish homes and taking them and their artwork from their families and keeping them from themselves. After World War II had ended, Austria claimed this piece of artwork unnamed and claimed it as Woman in Gold. It has since been held in an art museum, and as Daniel Brühl's character describes, it is the Mona Lisa of Austria. This is the story of how Helen Mirren's character is trying to get it back from the Austrian government. It takes place over the course of several years, and it's actually quite moving. What did you think of it?
In all honesty, I think, because you know me, I'm a big fan of epic movies, of historical, accurate type of movies that are based on a true story. Events based on a true story, also too. I still think, though, Ryan Reynolds' character in the movie, I think he was aiming for like a very stale. Again, some comic relief every once in a while, but I really think his character was very stale, very flaky.
I really expected his character to be. I expected humor from him, but I didn't expect it to be a sarcastic humor, which is he was.
Yeah, it was very sarcastic humor, which he's done before, though. He's done before. He's done it.
But he was very serious.
And he really
about
pulled it off in the movie Waiting. I don't know if anybody remembers that movie, but. He was really sarcastic in that film. I mean, his humor has always been like sarcasm. It's just in this one,
he plays
it was
very
really
serious.
stale. It was too serious still. So even his sarcasm in this film was.
It's a very dramatic
I couldn't
film.
really picture him.
Because there's so much drama and so much emotion happening in the film. When he brings in this sarcasm, it's kind of just like expressing the character's way of saying, I'm trying to get my mind off all this stress that's happening right now.
Yeah, it was almost like...
Rather than actual humor, it's more of just a character.
It was almost as if he was... I mean, he was so... he was comically awkward in this because I guess it was his way of coping with the serious situations that were going on.
He's a very inexperienced lawyer, and he's about to take on an international case.
Yeah. Something that
it's a lot
he's
of
never
stress.
done before, and he just got hired at the new law firm that he was about to work for, and then the minute he gets hired, he asks his boss for a couple of weeks off to go to Austria and handle this.
Yeah, his boss lets him actually take the case on, and at first, obviously, it doesn't succeed, and his boss says, "Nope, you get no more
time, no more funding, and all that. So, whatever, just start focusing on work."
There was a point in this where there was a lot of stress where he was struggling with his family, and because he found a reason with his heritage being in Austria and everything.
Yeah, because
rather than just the money that would come from the case, he's like, I found a connection with this piece of art and I need to do it because it's right, but he has no funding, and so he has to.
He starts freaking out.
Yeah, he goes through a lot of stress and financial troubles throughout the film. Although it's minor, but it's still a piece just adding to all the stress that he has to take in. They're taking loans and everything. And
they're taking out loans.
It takes place over the course of several years.
The best part was when Helen Mirren basically calls it quits and wants him to stop his efforts, and he's like, how dare you do that? Pull a plug on me when I'm this close to getting it.
Yeah, it's a very stressful situation. It takes place over the course of several years in the 90s. It's
since 97 to I think it was 2003, I think.
2002 or 2003, somewhere around there.
That's when they finally get it. Yeah.
So many years of that kind of stress with an international court case, that's a lot to take on for an inexperienced lawyer and an elderly woman
Who's
who
putting a
sometimes
lot,
just
yeah.
wants to give up and just, as many people were telling her, let it go. And
Yeah,
it's
eventually she
very
gives into
dramatic
that.
and emotional.
It gets, yes, it does. It gets very, it really touches you, actually, this film, in the situation that they're in, and the fact that he's trying his best. Ryan Reynolds' character actually tries his damnedest to try and help Helen Mirren's character to obtain this, not just that painting, it's everything else too. But then the main focus does turn into just that one painting, because
it's a cultural icon.
In
By
the
taking
movie,
that
yeah.
painting back to its original
In the middle, you
owners,
find out
you are able to send a message that you should give the rest of these pieces back to their owners as well, or at least look and see who they really are, who they really belong to.
Yeah.
And because, like Daniel Bruhl's character said, it's basically the Mona Lisa of Austria.
Well,
they won't give it up
call
that easily.
Yeah, they call it that only because they were under the impression that her aunt back then had actually left it in her will, which also is uncredited in the middle of the movie, that she had decided to leave it to the museum in Austria if and whenever she were to pass.
It's a very complicated case, and there's
they
so
used
many.
that. They basically use that as the leverage of, hey, we get to keep it because it belongs to us, because she said it belongs to us. And
Well,
thing
the
is-
first thing they tried holding on to was the cultural significance of it, and then when they're realizing they're not giving up because of its significance to our culture, they pull up the will, and they're like, this is what's holding us to it now, and then they're just trying to avoid cases with them in court the entire movie, and when they finally get to it, it's nothing but struggles. So
Yeah, real quick, I also wanted to add the fact that Daniel Bruhl's character in this film, I don't know, I think you've mentioned it to me before, but his character actually surprised me, because I was expecting him to be the guy that was looking out for himself, like he was going to use them, to get the painting, or if they ever did get the painting,
It seemed
that
like
he would try and maybe, I don't know, weasel them out of
he
some
seemed
money
like the
for
kind
it
of
or something.
character. Well, when the way he was introduced, it's like, I have my own motives to this. I'm not going to tell you, but in the end, it's much different than what you would expect. So I expected him to actually be a bit part, not really.
I actually thought
He was more of a supporting role than I
he was a
would've thought.
very hugely supporting role in this film, because they actually they thought they were at a lost cause, and he's the one that would always actually shed some nice true light to this, like, oh, hey, no, don't give up, if
He would
if
always
it's
pull
true
up
that this
leads
belongs to
a way
you.
for them to get further through that case. He was always there when.
Yeah, he helped them where he could, and then at the same time, again, he left it up to them, though, if in the end that they decided that maybe they weren't going to go anywhere with it, and that
He was very
they would
supporting
have
of
to
their
get up
own
give
free
up
will
at
and
any time.
decisions.
And he was strongly advising that they should.
Yeah,
So,
and all three of these characters did very well. They did much better. So, what would you rate it?
oh man, my rating as a film overall, I would have to say, I'd give this a 7.5, because, again, with Ryan Reynolds' performance in this film, I think he tried, either he tried too hard or not at all. Because to be honest,
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that. I'm gonna rate it at 8.5 because I was actually surprised by his performance. So,
okay.
thank you for watching HCC MovieMakers Academy movie reviews. We like films. If you like films, check out our website at hccs.edu. Sign up for one of our classes, and we'll see you here.
Also, you can catch us on YouTube with our YouTube channel, HCC MovieMakers Academy Movie Reviews. We'll hope to see you if you want to sign up and
Subscribe to
to
our
our
channel.
channel, actually, yeah.
And we'll see you next time.